Hey guys, it's Maria Park and welcome to Approach to Nerd. This is my spoiler review for the season 3 premiere of Roswell, New Mexico, which takes place 1 year after season 2 ended. If you watched Roswell, New Mexico season 2, then you know basically technically Max died. They were able to bring him back by using Noah's heart and using Rosa to kind of supercharge it. Since she shared kind of like the alien powers with Max, since Max was the one that kind of brought her back to life. Everything's basically changed. Max in season 2 ended up destroying all of Liz's research. And so she was really upset and decided to take a job in Los Angeles and left. So here we are a year later, and everyone's pretty much been coping with everything that they've kind of lost in season 2. Michael broke up with Maria. Alex is dating, I think his name is Hunter. He is Wyatt's brother. And, of course, Max, once again, is keeping a secret from everybody. Isabel apparently is also living her best life. She's been sleeping with the female bartender that she was hitting on her last season in season 2. They're still together. I don't know if they just have sex. I don't know what the status is. They make it seem like they see each other on a regular basis, but Isabel kind of was like, we do all these positions and blah, blah, blah. It doesn't say relationship to me. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that. Michael right now feels like it's him and Alex's time, which is interesting because in season 2, he said it wasn't possibly their time yet. But to be fair, a year has gone by. So it is what it is. So we start off in this episode. Max is writing like different letters to people, and he's writing them on a typewriter. It is so old school to me. I was like, oh, he just write them on a typewriter. He didn't want to handwrite them out. Didn't want to type them on the computer and print them out. He's typing them on a typewriter. I'm like, you do you, Max. But he's writing all these different letters. So that already told me something was happening with him. Well, we learn in this episode that he is not doing well. His body is rejecting Noah's heart. He hasn't told anyone. Liz, again, is all the way in Los Angeles. She's got a new partner. She's doing like groundbreaking science research where one of the things she's worked on, they developed this like patented formula that they think will benefit paraplegics. Well, the company that she's working for, they basically said, okay, well, we have an interesting party who wants to kind of fast track your patent through clinical trials. And Maria finds out that the place is called something like Le Plessage or something like that. They're a beauty company. And so if they sold the patent to them, which they did, they would not be able to use this actual formula to help paraplegics for 10 years. And so Liz was in her feelings about that, which I understand. And that probably is something that happens in real life. And so she decides to leak it. And when she leaked it, of course, she runs the risk of being fired and probably even arrested. They never discussed that, but I would think that's like insider trading or something. But she has a partner. He is a fellow researcher who kind of has a crush on her, and he kind of helps her by getting his tech buddy to basically wipe the drives of what they were doing, and basically and is making it look like both of their days matched exactly, but so they won't be under suspicion as how the patent got leaked out, and they'll think it's just like a data breach or whatever. So she got out of it, but it's a thing. And we learned in this episode that Liz she's not been living life. She's just been working. She's become a complete workaholic. Her other project is a rare, degenerative brain condition, which is basically Maria's condition, because every time she gets a vision, her brain starts deteriorating, and she's basically going to end up like her mother and potentially die. And it's because she refuses to wear this bracelet that will stop her vision. So Maria's being very, very stubborn and not saving her own life. And so Liz is out there trying to figure out how to just cure it altogether. And this guy has been helping her with this, but Liz has not been. She's gone on dates, but not second dates. Kyle goes and sees her for a millisecond out in Los Angeles and is talking to her. And he's like, you're waiting for Max to come and get you. And she admits it. She keeps looking over her shoulder, thinking Max is going to come sweep in and tell her to come back to Roswell, and he doesn't. But she doesn't know that he's dying. And so, of course, Max is doing this self-sacrificial thing that he does, which kind of irritated me about him in season 1 and in season 2, where he doesn't tell the people that he loves. He doesn't learn the lesson. He doesn't tell the people that he loves that he's dying. He's basically kept this secret for over a year from Michael and Isabel. Pretty much everyone. The only people that knew are him and Kyle, and that's because Kyle is his doctor. And it's really messed up. So Liz has been waiting for a man who has no intention of coming to get her. But we all know that Liz will eventually have to come back for Roswell. It's just what it is. Side note, we also learned, and I don't even know why the hell they introduced this character. I'm gonna be real with you. Kyle met a girl who was the daughter of the chief of staff of the hospital in Roswell named Steph. She had a disease that was terminal, and Liz was able to basically create a formula based on alien DNA that saved her life. This happened in season 2. We didn't even get to see her this season. Like, Kyle basically said, we came out here. She took me to a restaurant and broke up with me because she didn't want to be tied to Roswell. And that was it. Steph went from potentially being a really cool character to non-existent. She's just gone. So that's the CW mode, though. They bring somebody in, you kind of get semi like interested in their story, and then it doesn't really matter. Next season, they're just a side note. They're a footnote in the journey. So Steph is gone. And Kyle is debating whether or not he's going to go to New York, because he's basically trying to figure out his future, if he wants to stay in Roswell or actually go back to his former hospital in New York City. So we may be losing Kyle. Probably not. Probably something's going to happen to keep him there. But right now, everyone seems to be looking forward in their relationships and in their life goals. Michael, as I said, broke up with Maria. Is still pining for Alex, but Alex is still, with Wyatt's brother. And Wyatt's brother is basically, and he is an artist, right? He's a writer, and he's going on a book tour. But what's interesting is that he also does something with this organization that we heard a lot about last season called Big Sky. They're very shady. They're just shady as hell. And apparently he's been working with them, and he has A-level clearance, which is like, I guess, baseline clearance. So he's telling Alex that they're wanting to recruit him for E-level clearance. And E-level clearance probably is the kind of level where you get to see like all of the secrets of this organization, like probably alien stuff and whatever. So think of like Area 51 and like different departments have different clearance. He would be higher up in that department. And so Alex has to make a choice. Does he ignore them and turn them down and live his life, go on tour with, his boyfriend? Forrest is his name. I don't know why I call him. Go with Forrest on book tour. Or does he take the position with Big Sky, find out all the crap that they know, and then, cut himself off from everybody? Because once he does this, he cannot have relationships with anybody. He can't talk to Maria. He can't talk to Michael. He can't talk to anybody in his former life, not even his brother, because he will be so embedded in this organization. And he said, part of me wants to say no, but the other part of me wants to know what they know. So I have a feeling that that's what Alex is going to do, because when he came back home, he already came back home basically doing cleanup for everything that his family did, and how they were hunting aliens and yada, yada, yada. So I guess he had come home to make a fresh start with Forrest, and then Forrest drops them off, drops that bombshell after they had sex that, oh yeah, by the way, I'm in Big Sky. And it's just like, what? So it was kind of sad seeing Michael see Alex come back into town and go kiss Forrest, and he's just standing there like looking like a lost little puppy. I'm going to call it now. Maria is not over Michael whatsoever. I think that she just knows that he wants Alex more. And I said this last season, I did have a problem with how the love triangle with them was handled. As somebody who is queer and identifies as bisexual, pansexual, depending on your definition, I hate the biphobia tropes that are written, especially by LGBT content writers, when it comes to a bisexual character. Because one of the biphobia things that you always hear is that bisexuals will cheat on you, Like if they're with a guy, if it's a girl and they were the guy, they will go with the girl, or vice versa. Or if they're with a girl, they go with the guy. And same with the men. And how they handled this situation with Maria and Alex and Michael is they had all three of them have a threesome. And that irritated me greatly because that is what they always say bisexuals do. If they can't be with one, they'll be with both simultaneously. I hated that storyline so much. It was the most random, out of nowhere, WTF moment in this show. Like I literally got in my feelings about it. I even did a video on it last year. It really pissed me off. I am hoping, because see, they did this and then they went back to normal. Like, I don't know about you guys. Alex is my best friend who I had a crush on until he came out to me. And then I started dating this guy who I learned was the guy who I was best friends with, lover from high school, and had this unresolved emotional connection with and this whole romantic mess with. I don't think I would be like, I'm going to sleep with both of them. There's not something that would pop into my mind. So where the hell that came from, I don't know. But yeah, so Michael goes and visits Maria at the bar because, of course, she got a vision. And the vision basically showed somebody dying in a coffin and they're at the funeral. And she doesn't know who it is. So when Max comes clean to Michael and Isabel that he's dying, Michael goes and tells, Maria, don't worry about it. Don't worry about having a vision. It's Max. Well, she goes to touch his hand and then he grabs his hand back. I don't know what that was about. That was really weird. If you guys know what that was about, let me know. But that was really odd. But just her reaction and his reaction to each other, I feel like there's still a lot of unresolved crap there. And I am worried that they're going to revisit the same messed up scenario that we saw last season. I really hope not. I'm hoping this is not going to be one of those dragged out effing love triangles again, because it's just going to irritate me greatly. But it also does look like Maria may be, and this just might be me, just like kind of like the chemistry was there, at least one side. She might actually end up going with Gregory Maines, which is Alex's brother, because he's been coming around the bar and helping her a lot. He even drove her home. They had like a conversation about romance, and she was like, he was talking about how he bought the car that he was driving her home in from an drag race buddy of his. And she's like, oh, you drag race? I would think that, Michael would do something like that, but not you. And he's like, oh, you guys are good. And she's like, some things were not meant to be. And then he says, how do you know when they are? And she just kind of looks at him weird. And I was like, I wonder what that's about. Are they trying to make Gregory Maines, the second grade teacher, the new love interest for Maria this season? Which, I'm fine with it. It's just interesting that, she had a thing for Alex first until he came out as gay, and then she's going to end up going with his brother. So I was like, I was with Alex, then I was with Alex's ex-boyfriend, and now I'm with Alex's brother. A lot of people will probably look at that scenario and say she's basically with everybody that's attached to Alex, her first true love. That's what it looks like. And to be fair, Maria did say she made plans to marry Alex until he came out to her in high school. And she said, I had to change my entire life plan. So I don't know. It's weird. But we have a lot of things going on, because one of the weird things that is happening in this series, which did not happen the last two seasons, technically we did have Noah, so we did have a villain in season 1. We didn't really have one in season 2, but now we have Jones, who is basically he says he's the real savior. So he's implying that Max is actually the clone and he actually is the real savior from their planet. And so not only is Max dealing with dying with Noah's, his body rejecting Noah's heart, he's also dealing with the fact that he might be an effing clone. So, there's that. But he looks just like Max if Max never shaved a day in his life and basically lived in an episode of Bonanza. So, we'll see what we didn't get a lot from him, but I do know that, Isabel and Michael are going to probably try and use him to see how they can save Max, which probably means they're going to torture him, because when Isabel was talking to Kyle about Max's condition, he said the reason that he can't help fix him is because he has very limited data. There really isn't anything in the science books or the health books that show about their specific DNA. So they had one body, and that was Noah's, and they used the heart already, and Max's body is rejecting it. So he doesn't have a basis to go on. He has, for the most part, Max, Michael, and Elizabeth and Isabel, they are all like patient zeros for Kyle. He has no idea how to fix them. So I think that kind of got into their head, and so they're going to try and figure it out through Jones, since he is the clone of Max. And what might end up happening is they might find a way of taking Max's consciousness and putting it in Jones's body, because I could see that happening on this show. I really can. And the other weird thing that happened is racist Wyatt, Forrest's brother, he got sentenced to like community service and basically art therapy out in the desert. The same art therapy that Rosa is doing, because she was in rehab. She's found out she's bipolar, so she's going. She can't go to like as she calls them, talking therapists, because it's hard to talk about being part alien. And so she's going to art therapy because she loves art. So she figures, why not? And art therapy, does work. So, I mean, it's a thing if you apply yourself to it. Well, of course, Wyatt doesn't want to be there, but it's mandated by the court, and the teacher's making him draw, and he ends up like drawing a penis cactus or something like that. But then he recognizes Rosa, and she's like, "Oh no, I'm Rosa's cousin." And he's like, "I've known, the Ortegos my entire, life, and they don't have a cousin." At first, I wanted to say something on the lines of, "Why would you know everybody in their family? I mean, it was pretty obvious you were pretty racist and they didn't like you. So why would they discuss their family situation with you? Like, what? I have friends that I've known for 20 something years. I don't go up to them and say, "Oh, I know you don't have a cousin." I don't know shit about that. And so, like, that to me, that was weird that he was like, "They don't have a cousin." Like, this is stupid. That was I wish they had come up with a better way for him to be suspicious than the line like that, because that was just dumb. And she just kind of played it off and was like, "Oh, well, then I must be Rosa. I must be dead." I laughed it off and then left. And I'm like, she should have just been like, "Dude, my family thinks you're shit. And why would we tell you about me being a cousin?" It doesn't even track. So, but later on, he basically comes to the crash down, and, while she's closed up, and she's cleaning, and he basically attacks her. He pulls a gun, and they struggle. And so early in the episode, Rosa called Liz because the mother brought like this care package, and there's this thing called I think it's called Buricol, which is like the drug that was used on Jenna to erase her memory in season 2. Well, Liz and Rosa's mother sent it along a care package with like, all the information she had on Jesse Maines, and of course a long letter saying that she was sorry for all the crap that she's done. And so Liz was like, "Well, I'll handle it. I'll get rid of the drug when I get back." Well, I guess it had been there with Rosa for some reason in the kitchen area. I don't know why it just happened to be down there in her bag or on the table or counter or whatever when she was opening it in the room upstairs, but I digress. But when Wyatt attacks her and they struggle, she grabs it and she stabs him with it. So either it's going to wipe his mind or kill him. I don't think Wyatt's the one that's going to be in the coffin. Honestly, hell, it could be Maria. She's just not figured it out yet. But I do think that there are going to be repercussions for that. And I don't know exactly what happened, like to what extent your mind is wiped, but yeah. So Rosa's got a problem with Wyatt. And I feel bad because Rosa's really trying to get her life together, and it's really not her fault that she was brought back from the dead. And yeah, this whole situation is just it's just rather stupid. I'm on the fence, guys. This was a better episode than a lot of the episodes in season 2. I always give every season 3 episodes, so I will be reviewing the next 2 episodes as well. I'm excited that we potentially have a new villain in Jones, but I don't know. I really don't know how I feel yet. I'm still, like I said, I'm still on the fence. It's not a bad show. Again, it has lots of potential. I just don't know how I feel about season 3 so far. I'm looking at the comments. Hello, Buenos Lane. Yeah, I did see Maria was in the vision of the funeral, but I don't know if she was seeing things from the first person perspective, or if she was just actually seeing herself at the funeral. So, because like a lot of times when you see people having visions, sometimes they are in them. and it has nothing to do with them, or maybe it is about them. Until we actually see who's in the coffin, and then the kind of perspective changes, we have no idea. I mean, it literally could be any of them. We know, I don't think it would be Isabel, but it literally could be anybody in that coffin. It could be Alex. It could be Gregory. It could be any of them. It could be Jones. They could do what I say and put Michael's body in our consciousness, Max's consciousness in Jones's body, and then they could bury Max's original body. But the problem being with that, the reason I don't think it's going to be Max or Jones is that if they have Max living as Jones, looking the exact same, they got another Rosa situation on their hands, and it's just stupid. So to me, Alex really is the one I'm worried about, because he's going to get in with Big Sky. And I feel like that's going to be very bad because this is not a good organization. I mean, they kidnap Max. They do very shady stuff. So I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about that. And again, this was, like I said, this was a better episode for Roswell, New Mexico. This is coming from somebody who read the books in high school, who loved the Roswell 90s series, even though technically they did. I will admit, people say it, I can't deny it. They did whitewash Liz in the original TV series, because Liz Orteco was always her name in the original Roswell books, which predate the TV series. And they made her into Liz Parker. I still really enjoyed most of that series. The later seasons, I didn't as much, but I did enjoy the original Roswell show tremendously. I didn't hate season 1 of Roswell, New Mexico. I actually thought it was okay. Season 2 was hard. Like I said, they started doing that threesome stuff that came out of nowhere, and there's all this random bullshit. I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. But season 3 seems to be trying to move more towards the Roswell we know and love, where they have the mysterious villain of the show. They already got some life or death situation going on with trying to save Max, but unfortunately they were trying to save Max last season, so they need to hurry up and save him, because I don't want to have an entire season where we're just trying to save Max, because that'll also irritate the hell out of me. I also don't want to have a season where Max is like, don't tell Liz I'm dying. Just hide it from her. Everybody hide it from her, for like agonizing slow burn episodes. I think that would probably irritate me greatly. Cameron, what characters are you the most interested in and least interested in? Most interested in Maria right now, not because she has my name, but because I want to know what's going on with these visions, because she's being very stubborn right now. She sees what happens when you have these visions and you're mostly human. You can't handle the power. So she's going to either end up like her mother or die if she's not careful. So I want to know the mystery. I want to know, first of all, the mystery behind this vision, like who's in the coffin. But I also want to see some kind of self-preservation kick in from Maria, because there's a reason Maria is doing this. I feel like Maria's lost a lot. She lost her mom. She's lost her boyfriend. She's losing a lot of stuff. And I feel like this is how she's coping. She has this one thing that she feels makes her special, and she doesn't want to give it up. And I think that it's more psychological with her than just trying to figure out, the vision. So I'm curious to see about how Maria is going to let go of this gift, or if she has to let go, they're going to be able to cure her. So I am curious about that. Somebody I am least interested in would probably be Wyatt. I want them to just hurry up and get rid of this character, because he's just there to represent that kind of white supremacist type character that just spews out garbage. And I mean, I don't need to see this character to know that there are hateful people in the world. I mean, I don't need to see it. I know it's there. I get it. I understand. We already saw a lot of it last season, so I don't want to see that. And I definitely do not want to see any more threesomes between Maria, Michael, and Alex. That is probably that's the number one thing on my list I do not want to see this season, because that is really effing weird. It's just really weird for me. I'm not trying to hate on people that are in a polyamorous relationship, but this was not what that was. This was a bisexual male character who got to sleep with his girlfriend at the time and his ex-boyfriend. And that is literally living up to the bisexual stereotype that I hate, that we get all the damn time. So I don't want to see that. I do not want to see that. I actually found time to watch the original Roswell. It's a good show. I especially love the first couple of seasons. I'm not gonna lie to you. I did not like the character of Tess when they brought Tess in and all of that garbage with the baby. I did not like that at all. That it was definitely off canon from the books. I don't mind you doing your own thing. I just did not like it. And it kind of took away from our main core group. And I like to have more stories centered around them and not over Max and his baby and Mike and Tex and her being from the other planet and him being the king. I'm just like, okay, just stop. I'm like, so that irritated me. And hopefully we will not have a Tess equivalent in this series because that will really irritate me. Because again, that was not a character. Now, Cameron's character is based off of another character whose last name was Cameron, but she was into Michael, not into Max in the books. So I don't think we're gonna get her either. But that's a thing. Unless Cameron's kind of a spin-off of her. Maybe she's like sometimes they'll take a character and they'll like mix them together with another character and create a brand new thing. That could be what's happening in that too. Let's see. The threesome scene was kind of weird to me. I don't get it how it connected to the story, and now Michael's not with either of them, so it's kind of it was weird as hell. I don't know what I feel like, and this was pre-COVID, guys. I feel like the writers' room was just high that day. They were like, they got some good stuff, and they were like, you know what happened? That would be really cool if we instead of resolving this love triangle, that we just made him have a threesome. That's how you resolve that in the world. I'm like. I don't get that at all. It was so effing stupid to me. I just did not get that at all. Oh Lord, it was just especially since it came on the tail end of like Maria going to investigate why her mother bought these boots from this bootmaker, and her and Alex were bonding and having this moment. And he was like, you were the first girl I kissed, the first connection to an actual romance that I had. Even though I knew I was into men, you're always special to me. And that was Maria and Alex's moment, to bond and be BFFs and talk about, her talking about her crush on him and how him, coming out to her was great, except she then had to have a new life plan because I just knew I was going to grow up and marry you. It was so sweet. And then she goes up there and she, all that crap happens and they get attacked. And then Michael comes and like Maria actually saved them by hitting the guy in the head with a shovel. But, Michael and Alex and her all go back to his place and then decide, let's just have sex. And I'm like, what? I'm like, I've heard of PTSD, but that's effing ridiculous. No. Mm-mm. The aliens really gave Rosa the short end of the stick. I'm saying really, I feel like the worst for her in a way because, I mean, her whole life, how is she going to explain things? I mean, you're going to need a social security card. I don't even know how she's still in Roswell because she has no real identification unless they did something to hack something and give it to her. Because quite frankly, she could be considered an illegal and deported. So I don't get it. Was Michael and Alex canon? No. This is the only version of Roswell that they've ever been together. In the TV series, Alex is murdered. In the book series, Alex has a relationship with somebody else. And eventually him and Isabel kind of have like a flirtatious thing going. But yeah, in every version of Roswell, except this one, it's always been Michael and Maria that have been canon. So they're doing their own thing. This is a whole new thing. I love it for the LGBT representation because we normally don't have two guys in a relationship. And this one has no problem showing two guys being intimate, which is also something we don't normally see like on this level. But at the same time, because I read the books and because I loved Michael and Maria was this really sweet and kind of nerdy girl who had a crush on Michael and he didn't give her the time of day in the books. And then in the Roswell TV show, he was kind of like the hard ass that didn't believe in commitment. And he slowly started becoming more attached to her than she was to him eventually. I loved that relationship between them and we're just not going to get it. It looks pretty canon to me that he has more feelings for Alex than he does for Maria. But again, I don't know what happened when she grabbed his hand and he gave her this look and she gave him a look. It was kind of like don't touch me type of scenario. And then, it was weird. Just look, if you go back and look at that scene, that was really weird. It was really, really weird. How many episodes do you think it will take to get Liz back to Roswell? So I know the CW operates on a different calendar than we do, meaning that they try and put a lot of plot into very short amounts of episodes or time. So if they only have, like, say they have 13 episodes or 12 episodes this season, she'll probably be back by or episode 3. If not, the tail end of next week's episode. If they have a longer season, then it could be 4 or 5. But I honestly don't feel like she'll be staying around Los Angeles, especially if she learns that that Max is dying from Michael or Isabel, which is the thing. I do wonder if the connection is severed between him and Rosa completely, because then she would probably know. And then why didn't she say anything this entire year? So that's really weird. Forrest joins Deep Sky. I wonder what that is about when he tells us. Yeah, they mentioned Deep Sky a lot last season. They're just they're pretty much a military type organization that holds a lot of secrets. It's like trying to penetrate Area 51. That's what Deep Sky is. They're just very shady. So think CIA level stuff. So yeah, I do think that, I'm happy we're going to see more of Big Sky. And I'm happy that we got it through Alex. We'll get a chance to see what they are all about. So I'm completely okay with that. That's why I think that's another reason I'm also interested in season 3, because we're actually starting to break down all of the shady stuff outside of the aliens. Because we know they've always been there. We're actually going to see it. And I think that's pretty cool. Max belongs in the Arrowverse. He is whiny as hell. I'm not going to lie. He does have a lot of Oliver Queen moments. It actually bothers me. I don't know what it is about him. He's like, I'm trying to do the right thing. No, you're just being irrational and stupid, and you're whining. Like, you had a whole year to tell them. And he's like, well, I wanted to make memories. I didn't want you guys to be obsessed with saving my life. I'm like, you knew your sister and your pretty much your brother, because him and Michael are like brothers. You knew they were going to be pissed at you. Yet you lied to them for an entire effing year. It's stupid. It's just really stupid. And I am new to your channel. I really like it. Well, welcome, John. That is awesome. I have, as you can see, very diverse content. Not something they recommend on a YouTube channel, but I gotta be me. So I like a lot of different things. So you're gonna get a lot of different things. But if there is, I have a poll on the community tab, by the way. If you guys are in the comics, if there is a comic book character you would like me to spotlight, because I'm trying to catch up. I got a whole list. I'm trying to get a lot of them done. Please put it in that community tab, because I'm starting on this weekend to try and play catch up with that. So just throwing it out there. If there's a comic book character that you would like me to spotlight, put it in that community tab. Max and Liz have new potential love interests. What are your thoughts on them? Well, okay. So I was going to mention the singer. I kind of say this in my notes. I actually have that. Max has a one night stand with a very pretty singer that he meets earlier on in the episode. I don't know about, I don't want to call them love interests, because yes, Liz is more than likely sleeping with the scientist guy, because she pretty much implied that's what was going down at the end of the episode. And Michael definitely got it on with the lady who said, I don't want to know names, grandma names. I don't want phone numbers. Those are both, to me, rebounds. They are rebounds. Because if you remember, Max was sitting in the desert with a recording of Liz when she was basically taking care of Max, nursing him back to health, and crying, like, listen to her voice, and crying and getting drunk. And like, of course, Liz is pining after, Max, just because Kyle told her to get over it and move on doesn't mean she did it right then. So she's basically grateful this guy helped save her job and kept her out of trouble. And she's using that as a distraction. The same thing she did with Kyle in season 1 before her and Michael, her and Max, I like putting her with Michael, when her and Max got together, she slept with Kyle as a distraction. So it's distraction sex. They're rebounds until they come out and have like feelings. They're like, oh, well, they're actually contenders. Then I will say something. But if we don't even see these people again, like, we might see the scientist guy again, but we may not see the singer again. She could be a regular. She could also be with Big Sky. I mean, that's not out of the blue because, this is the CW. They love throwing those drama turns, the twists and turns and drama. She could actually be an undercover agent with Big Sky getting close to Max because they suspect he's an alien. I mean, who knows? But right now, as far as I'm concerned, they are just one night stands. They are rebounds. They are flings. Same thing that Isabel's probably doing with this female bartender, which, because I kind of feel like if this woman was actually in a relationship with Isabel, we would see her. It's been a year. They've been together a year. This does not sound like a relationship. Now, to be fair, we could see her in the next, few episodes. And then I will change my mind on it. But until I see the female bartender, she is also a fling, a very long fling. So, yeah, it's a thing. I noticed that Max seems to have developed telekinesis as well, which is cool. Yeah, I was wondering about that. He still can't do anything on the mindscape like Izzy, but then she even implied, well, you guys just need to practice. So, I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm still curious about Jones because I think that whole storyline is going to be very interesting. And what is the Savior supposed to actually do? I want them to talk about the whole legacy. I mean, they act like he's Clark Kent. They're sending him as Superman coming to Earth in a pod, just bringing people with him, So I don't know. It's weird. Yep, mercenary. They are flings. Will Max and Liz see each other again? Oh, absolutely. Of course they will. They are, as I've said in a previous or last night's live stream, they have main character insurance. And they're the ones making out in all the posters. So of course they're going to see each other again. Of course, absolutely. There's no doubt in my mind. As a matter of fact, when they see each other, it'll probably be heated because Liz is still in her feelings about him destroying all of her work. And he is in her feelings about not only her leaving, but her having said work based on their alien DNA without talking to him. So they have trust issues with each other, but they also are in love with each other. So they got to work some stuff out. And right now they're just going to have flings, potentially flings to make each other jealous. I would not be surprised if Liz came back into Roswell with the guy from the lab. I also think the cure for Maria's brain is being put in the pod. If Rosa developed powers from belonging in there, so that maybe Maria is being part alien and going in the pod will enhance her alien DNA. Yeah, you know what? That actually could work. Huh. I don't think they really thought about it because right now they just want Maria to stop. So no one's actually trying to increase her ability to adapt to these powers or, increase her alien DNA. They just want her to flat out stop. So eventually when they realize she's not going to, then that may be their desperate attempt to save her. Because I think that it's going to come to that because Maria is not trying to put that bracelet on at all. This show is full of actors from other shows. Yeah. Hi, Maria. How's it going? Almost Hasbro's Power Month. Pretty good, Emmanuel. Hope you're doing well. And yeah, it is almost Hasbro's Power Month. Maybe we'll get the Power Rangers back. I wonder what Liz and Rosa's mom is up to. That is a good question. I do think she was sincere, though, by sending them all that stuff. I think she generally did feel bad. Now, what she's doing now is anybody's guess. Because I thought she was still engaged or married to a politician. I'll have to go back and watch season 2 or parts of season 2 to find that out. But I'm pretty sure she was married to a politician again. I'm not sure what that means, what her overall goal is. But I mean, she has no reason to get back at Jesse because Jesse's dead, and they've got a whole freaking statue of this man overlooking Roswell. And I thought that was so weird that this man, they are revering him as a hero. And he actually is the one that was literally trying to kill everybody and blow everybody up to expose aliens. The Maine family is complicated. The Maines are complicated. I mean, just complicated. But again, I do like Gregory a lot. And I do think that Maria and him might actually start to have something. But then I wonder if Michael will be jealous about that. Because I really generally think that Michael does love both Maria and Alex. I just think he loves Alex more. So that was his first love. So I don't know. I just thought about the fact that we have not met most of the fathers. We heard of Rosa and Kyle's, but never seen. We have met Liz and Alex's dads. Yeah, that's true. Well, I want to know what's going on with Maria's dad because we know about her mom, but where's her father? Maybe we'll have an episode where Maria's dad comes back. Because I mean, right now she's feeling really alone. And then plus, let's not forget at the end of this episode, which I thought was really messed up, these guys break into her bar with alien masks and beat the crap out of her. She puts up a fight, but they beat the crap out of her. But she's still concerned about this vision. And she's like, oh, it's not Max. I'm like, girl, call 911. They just beat your butt. Oh, these people. I wonder if Maria has any siblings. Depends. I mean, we don't know about her dad. Her dad could have a whole other family. I would assume the mother would have said something, but then again, no, I don't think the mother does, because she started losing her faculties early because she stopped wearing the bracelet. So I don't think she had time to have another baby. But to be fair, I don't know what she did. I mean, she could have had a baby prior to Maria. But her father could have a whole other family. So there's that. Have you seen the Legends season 6 Comic-Con trailer? I have, and it looks very, very good. I'm super excited. I'm gonna have to do a breakdown video. I just didn't have time to do it today, so that might be something I'm gonna do tomorrow. Because there are a few Comic-Con trailers that I saw that I thought were pretty cool. But yeah, Legends is looking good. I am super excited. You know, I love my Legends of Tomorrow, and I learned we're losing Constantine. Now we're not losing his actor because he's still going to be on the show with someone else, but Constantine is leaving Legends of Tomorrow, which is breaking my heart because I want him to be in the DCEU as Constantine because he is the best Constantine. I love him as Constantine, but I think the actor in general is just tired of playing him. So I don't know. I'm going to have to see that. Did you see season 7 finale of The Flash? Yes. So John Wood, and I'm going to warn you, I am very real with my reviews, so I don't hold anything back. But if you want to watch my reactions to season 7 finale, go look at last week's Arrowverse Wednesday. I did a review on Legends, The Flash season 7 finale, and I did one on Superman and Lois, all combined. So every time you see Arrowverse Wednesday, they're all combined into that one review. So yeah, but it's there. It is there. I'm trying to think of anything else that I noticed in this episode. Because like I said, this is just the premiere. I think I pretty much said mostly everything. We didn't see Rosa's dad. I guess another question I have is, I know that Rosa went to rehab, but I thought the idea was after she got out of rehab, she was going to go stay with Liz in LA. I wonder why she came back to Roswell, the one place where everyone would recognize her. That really wasn't a very smart choice, but it's a thing. It is a thing. No angry grandma in the review. In this review, no, I don't have an angry grandma moment so far. If Michael, Alex, and Maria sleep together again, then you will see angry grandma. But, outside of that, no, not really. What was with that guy attacking Rosa? So Wyatt is Forrest's brother. So Forrest is the one that was with Alex, who was getting on the bus, and Alex didn't show up with him because he basically is making the decision to go to Big Sky. They had a younger sister that went to high school with Rosa. And Rosa, basically, we learned that the girls were killed, but they actually weren't killed by Rosa. They were killed by Noah taking over Isabel's body. And actually, essentially, Isabel killed them. And she killed Rosa. And when, instead of Rosa dying, she was in a pod, and Max was able to bring her back to life. Which, if you have not been following the series, then Rosa is actually older than Liz, but she died when she was 19. So she is basically still stuck at being 19 because she was brought back into her current body. But she's actually 2 years older than Liz. But right now, Liz is the older sister now. It's such a weird situation. And Kyle is actually Rosa's half brother. They found that out too because their dad had an affair with Rosa and Liz's mom. And so Rosa and Liz are actually half sisters. So, but that was interesting. It was really interesting. I wonder if the Flash accidentally smashed an ATM spitting fast cash. I mean, I would not complain about that. And that wouldn't be something that would be a problem. Um, but yeah, I did do reviews for season 2 of Roswell. So if anybody has time, if they want to check out what they missed on season 2, I did episode reviews for the entire season last year. So I kind of break down all of the episodes. Also, if you have Netflix, you can watch it. Season 1 and 2 are on Netflix of Roswell, New Mexico right now. So you can watch it and stream it back to back with no commercials. But yeah, there's a very complicated, everybody has a complicated history in this show because it is a CW show and it has to be dramatic. So everybody has to have that soap opera thing going on where everyone's connected to each other, in some way or another. It's just a thing. Which is, it is what it is. Last year was a big, I think the overall consensus last year was loss. There was a lot of loss last year. Isabel lost her baby or had an abortion, basically, lost her marriage. Max almost lost his life. So Liz almost lost him. They went through this whole period of everybody just kind of losing themselves and each other, even Michael losing his relationship with Maria and Alex. I mean, there was just a lot of loss. This season seems to be more dangerous. And I think it's going to be more of, I kind of feel like everyone's trying to find themselves and things are going to prevent it from happening, which could be a thing. I'm hoping we see Cam because Cameron needs to be around. I don't know where she is right now, but hopefully her and Jenna are going to be back. But I don't know. It's a thing. Have you seen the Texas Walker reboot? I have not. I've seen the original. I have not had a chance to check out the new one, though, unfortunately. Who do you think will end up in the coffin, and do you think they will stick with that death? I do not think they will stick with that death. I already knew going in when we saw the vision. I am 100% certain that whoever's supposed to die, they are going to prevent it from happening. But if I were to guess who was going to die, it would be Alex. Because Alex is getting in bed with Big Sky. And Big Sky is not an organization to trifle with. And I feel like he's going to be like an inside spy or insider or double agent. And they're going to catch him and they're going to hurt him or kill him. But I don't think that's going to play out because I think they're going to figure it out in time. And so he's not going to die. But what normally happens in these storylines is if the person that's supposed to die does not die, then sometimes somebody has to die in their place. And I'm also concerned with that. But I don't think it's going to be any of our main characters. As long as they are not leaving the show, they have main character insurance. So I'm not 100%, concerned with any of them leaving. I think all of our main core group is going to be fine. The ones I am worried about are Gregory Maine, so Alex's brother. I am worried about that. I'm worried about Alex's boyfriend, Forrest, if he comes back from his book tour, that he might be the one that gets killed. It could be Isabel's girlfriend. Maybe she'll get a spotlight. We'll meet her. Maybe she's the one that's going to die. It could be anybody. But I don't think it's going to be Michael or Max or Maria or Liz or Rosa or Isabel or Kyle. I think they are going to be safe. But everybody else is free game or fair game. I'm hoping that it's not going to be Rosa and Liz's dad, because that would be depressing. And especially since we haven't seen him in this episode yet. I don't want the father to be killed. My worry is whoever's going to die, if it's not Big Sky and it's not, killing Alex, then it's Wyatt shooting somebody, and then it could be the father. So I don't know. It's a thing. I am curious. And I think they're going to see a lot of twists and turns with this vision. We'll probably start suspecting a lot of people that are going to be in that coffin. But right now, my money is on Alex because of Big Sky. And I don't want Alex to go, which is why I think they're going to not do it. I hope we see Liz's dad next episode. Me too. I love that actor. I think his whole role is adorable. I love his role in this show. He's a very sweet guy. So I want him back. And I want to know his opinion on what's happening with his daughters and what's happening with Liz. Because Liz just up and left again, even though he did encourage it, because she is a brilliant scientist. And if it wasn't for all the crap going on in Roswell, she probably would be happy, trying to save the world and cure cancer and all these, neurodegenerative diseases and been happy with her life. But because she's so in love with Max, she's miserable. Even though she loves being a scientist and she misses that about herself, it seems like she misses Max more. So she has every reason to come home. Plus her sister is there. And if anything brings Liz home right now, it's going to be Rosa calling her, telling her that she had to drug Wyatt and stab Wyatt with the Butyrical. I think it's Butyrical or whatever. Butyrical, Butyrical. I feel like that memory erasing drug is going to be a concern, and the whole situation with Wyatt is going to be a concern. So Liz is probably going to have to go home to deal with her sister's stuff, and then she's going to find out about what's going on with Max as a side effect of her being home. I haven't, or we'll see it, but would you want to review the iCarly reboot? I heard that was out. I don't know. I need to think about that. It's been so long since I saw iCarly. The problem is I have a lot of stuff already planned reboot wise, and I'm always trying to get things in. Like even this week, I know Friday, the last Rurouni Kenshin movie in the live action series comes out on Netflix. It's called Rurouni Kenshin: The Beginning. So we did the final last month. So I did do the review for that, but the beginning now, which basically is the prequel, the beginning of Kenshin's journey, they did the movie with him about him and his wife Tomoe and all the stuff that went down when Anishi was a little boy. So I'm gonna have to review that this weekend. Plus the Owl House is Saturday, so I have to stick on. I'm trying to stick onto that train. I do need to catch up on my comic book content because it's been forever because I've had so many series to review. But since most of them are on hiatus right now, at least for this week, I can play catch up. But then next week, the L Word Generation Q starts. So that's going to take up another realm of time there. So I have a lot of stuff coming out, and all of it seems to be coming out very close to each other. So it's just a lot. So I am trying. So it's not that I don't love these suggestions. It's just hard to keep up with all of them. I decided to do Republic of Sarah review on that, but to do it as a general season 1 overview because it got hard on Monday nights because I literally have streams almost every day. So it got really hard to find the time to put that in. So I decided to just do an overall video review for that. So I think I reviewed the first 2 episodes. So I've been keeping up with watching it, but I have to do an overall review later. And I also have another channel, guys, Approach the Yuri, that I got to make a lot more content for. I think I have 4 videos or 5 videos up for it. So I need to make more videos for that. So I'm busy. But don't keep suggesting stuff, like especially in my community tabs and comment sections on these videos. It's not that I don't see it. I need to find time to try and get all the stuff in because it's hard. I hope Max doesn't die again. I hope not either. I mean, it becomes a trope that they kill him every season. I'm just going to be like annoyed. I'm like, you're dying every damn season. I hope that it's Rosa that brings Liz back to Roswell instead of Max, because my favorite aspect of the show is the sister aspect. I love them as sisters. I thought it was interesting, too, because I think in real life, Janine, who plays Liz, is really Hispanic. But Rosa's actress is actually Native American and Thai. And, I was like, wow. But they literally look like actual sisters. It's so weird. It is really, really weird. But I love the chemistry between the two. But again, yeah, it's a thing. You're always around. Hard to remember you have a job. Yeah, I'm a whole adult. I'm an adult with a family. Got to make that money to keep those lights on. So I'm able to actually do these reviews. So yeah, I don't make money off of YouTube. I make a little money off YouTube, but I don't make nearly what I would need to pay off all of my bills and day-to-day life. So, yep. But yeah, I know I'm always in the light, but you see, it's called timing. Like I literally am doing something like 18 hours out of a day. It's why I'm always effing tired. Plus I'm anemic, so that doesn't help. But yeah. So we are almost to an hour, guys. I want to know your theories because we've been talking about all of my theories for what's going to happen. I want to know what your theories are. So I would love for you to put that in the comments, because when we end this stream, this little box is going to stop. So if you have any theories, wishes, or things you don't want to see in Roswell season 3, because we're at the very beginning, put it in the comments below because I really do want to know about it. Again, be on the lookout for the Rurouni Kenshin video because I am super excited for that movie to come out on Friday. If you guys have also not seen the Kingdom season 1 and 2, which is a zombie-based series in the Joseon era of Korea, it is streaming on Netflix. It is amazing, and they just released Kingdom Ashen of the North, which serves as a prequel to this series. I did a non-spoiler review yesterday for that. It is really good, so check it out. I think you guys will love that. And then again, if you have any ideas for comic book characters that you want me to spotlight and talk about, do bios for, put it in that community tab on the channel. So you'll see it. It's right below the community tab for this video. You will see where I'm asking you to put in your favorite characters on who you would like for me to spotlight so I can put it on my list so I can make those videos because I have a list of people that I want, that I like, but I also want to know what you guys or who you want me to talk about. So yeah, let me know in the comments. And lastly, somebody asked me this in my other video. Yes, I am going to be doing a detailed Charm season 4 spoilers, what I think is going to happen review. And I am going to I will review the What If series on Disney Plus when it comes out. I think it comes out on August 6th, but I may be wrong, maybe later in the month. But I will be reviewing the What If series as well. So had to answer that question because somebody asked me, and somebody also asked if I was going to continue my Yashahime reviews. Yes, I will be doing that and Ruby when they are coming back. I think Yashahime comes out in October. I'm not sure. They haven't announced when volume 9 of Ruby comes out, but yes, I will be continuing my reviews on those two. So yeah, all the old stuff will still get reviewed. And yes, I will periodically be adding new reviews as well. So be on the lookout for those. But yeah, if it is night for you, have a good night. If it is day for you, have a very good day. And I will see you in the next video. And